Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel, or welcome if you're new. My name is Veda and this is The Simple Budget. Here on my channel I show you how my family is using the zero-based budgeting method in order to get out of debt and simplify our financial life. If that sounds like content that you're interested in, I would love it if you would hit the subscribe button and join our little crew here. And with that being said, let's get into today's video. Well, hi everyone and happy Wednesday. Happy bonus content Wednesday. Had no idea that I was going to be throwing bonus content up, but after my last cash stuffing, I was looking at the calendar and I was like, oh, okay, I'll just do my budget with me and I'll have it go up on November 1st. And then I was like, oh, wait, my Etsy and YouTube paychecks need to go up that week. So the budget with me for November is going up in October, but it's late October, so I figure it's okay. And, you know, we're approaching November. It's all good. So that's why you have a video today. But I'm so glad that we do, because I reached 5,000 subscribers on Monday. I cannot thank you guys enough for joining along here in this craziness and hanging out with me every week and watching my channel and supporting my, I don't want to say journey. I hate that word. Just supporting me and my channel and my Etsy shop and everything that we are doing here at The Simple Budget. The fact that you guys continue to come back and continue to hang out with me means more than I can even tell you. So, I'm not announcing the 5K giveaway in this video. That's probably going to be announced in my cash stuffing on Monday. So be on the lookout for that. But I didn't want to let the week go by, the week of videos go by without saying thank you for 5,000 subscribers. I largely had no idea that my channel would have any kind of success. And then when I started acquiring more and more subscribers, I like randomly and vaguely said to my husband, oh, it would be so cool if I had 5,000 subscribers by the end of the year. And I laughed because I couldn't envision a world where that was possible. So, the fact that, you know, it's happened is just amazing to me. So again, thank you guys so much for all of you who've been here from the very beginning, and those of you who've just joined in. I hope that you find my content valuable. I hope that you feel that I'm approachable and that we are kind of just on this financial health excursion together, and that we can actually learn from each other and add value to each other's lives from a financial standpoint, because I think I said this in my very first video ever. Actually, your financial health flows into everything else that you do or hope to do or want to do in your life. So anyways, I'll be done rambling. I hope that you're enjoying my giant pumpkin here. I just love it. It smells so good. And I don't know if I'm going to burn through it this fall season. I've burned through a ton of it since I lit it for the first time, but I was like, you know what? We're approaching Halloween. Let me go ahead and embrace spooky season, even though it's not my cup of tea. I like fall decorations, but I'm not like a Halloween person. This is about as Halloween as I get, a pumpkin. So I was like, we're approaching Halloween. Let's do the pumpkin on the channel today. So anyways, we're going to go ahead and pop into my budget planner here and do our budget with me for the month of November, which is so crazy. Like, I cannot believe that we are in November. I know that like everybody probably feels this way. Everybody says this, but it is genuinely insane to me how quickly time flies when you're an adult, especially. When I was a kid, it felt like time went on forever and ever, but now it's like, oh my gosh, how did another year go by? So Anyways, I'll stop rambling about that. Just before we get into the budget with me, I just wanted to go over our calendar for the month of November. So we've got our first and second pays kind of clustered closely together. I am paid what's called or semi-monthly. So I get 2 paychecks a month regardless. I'm always paid on the 5th and the 20th. And then my husband is paid biweekly. And so we had a magic month in September. And so November is not a magic month for us. And so he's paid on the 10th and the 24th. And then I'm, like I said, on the 5th and the 20th. And so because of this, we kind of do a monthly budget overview for the entire month. We don't do a budget by paycheck because for us, it just makes more sense to kind of look at the broad scope of the month and budget that way. Because even though I am paid hourly, I will know how many shifts I will have in one pay period. And so we can still kind of map out what it's going to look like for us from a monthly standpoint. Certainly budget by paycheck works for a lot of people. We're just not one of those people. Although I do budget my weekly Etsy paychecks and my monthly YouTube paycheck, like per paycheck. I set out like personal goals for myself for things that I want to achieve with my Etsy paychecks throughout the month, but I don't like get stuck into if I don't achieve the full goal, I'm not hard on myself or anything like that. It just is what it is. But anyway, I'm going to go ahead and zoom you guys in just a little bit further here so that you can see what I'm actually writing. And then we will go ahead and get into the budget. Okay, I forgot to mention before I zoomed in that this budget planner is actually available in my Etsy shop. So what you will see in my Etsy shop is this entire, it's 31 pages. It's a 31-page PDF document that you can download that is going to have basically all of the pages that you're going to need to budget for a month, but you can print it over and over again, so it becomes an annual budget planner for you. It includes these monthly budget overview sheets. There's one of these, and then this is for if you budget like my husband and I budget, where you look at the entire month picture overview. And then, I'm not sure. So on this side, I have the monthly funding plan, which is something that my husband and I utilize, because then what we'll do is we'll take our monthly budget overview and we will break it down on a weekly basis. So there are 5 weeks available on here because some months have 5 weeks. And so then I utilize this to break down the budget so that I know what I'm cash stuffing on a weekly basis. Or how we're funding each category on a weekly basis. And then for those of you who do budget by paycheck, I have 5 paycheck plans, but they go in order of use. So you'll have the paycheck plan, the cash breakdown. So this will just help you break down denominations so that you'll know how you're cash pooling. And then this is just a cash stuffing plan. So whenever you do your cash stuffing, you'll write the fund, you'll write how much you're adding, and then the balance at the end of that. And so there are 5 of these in case there are 5 weeks in the month. And then if not, you have a spare. And then after the 5 paycheck plan, cash breakdown, cash stuffing plan, I have, oh goodness, I can't flip the pages. I have expense trackers, and I have 10 pages of expense trackers in this monthly budget planner. And then at the end, I have a sinking funds review where you can just kind of put in what you added and subtracted throughout the month, and then your end balance at the end of the month. And this document, like I said, it's available in my Etsy shop. It's $5 for the entire thing. And then I also have a digital budget planner where if you use some sort of notes app on your tablet, you can do actually an entire year it's an annual budget planner, and it's got this and some other things in it as well. My printable one is kind of broken up into pieces, so you can kind of choose what you want a la carte, so to speak. But anyway, I didn't want to not discuss that at some point on my channel here, or in this video. This is part of the monthly calendar digital download. If you decide that you want it, it's its own document that has a calendar for every month, but it's an undated calendar. Anyways, so now we're going to actually get into the budgeting. First, I'm going to take a sip of my coffee. I'm moving away from cold brew and onto hot coffee because even though we're having a very strange heat wave this week, it's almost November. Like, I need to be drinking hot coffee and not cold brew. Although I do love my cold brew. You all know that. All right, so let's just go ahead and jump right into it. It's a little gloomy here today, so I mean, it seems like right now the light in my dining room is cooperating, but just in case, so you're not wondering like why it might be darker than usual, that's why. But we so desperately need this rain, so I'm not, oh, it's not October, it's November. Okay, so first up, I just lump my husband's pay for the entire month into one category here because he is paid, he's a salaried employee, and so his pay never changes. And so we don't have to plan for potential differences with his. So his pay is going to be $7,686.90. But mine, we do break down because if I happen to work extra hours or less hours or whatever, we want to know what we budgeted for each paycheck so that we know then how to adjust our budget if the need arises. So with my first paycheck on the 5th, I'm projecting $890. And then with my second paycheck on the 20th, I'm projecting $1,100. So, oh, I forgot to grab my calculator. So I'm just going to add that together really quickly here. So we've got 7,686.90 plus 890 plus 1,100. And we're looking at 9,000. That was a weird 9. $676.90. This could change because we talked about, I don't even remember, like a couple weeks ago, I was mentioning that I am due for a raise, and I brought up the conversation again with the VP of our company, and she said basically they haven't forgotten about my request. They're kind of working out job titles, and because my manager was fired, and so they're trying to kind of reallocate some of her tasks. And so some of them are going to me, and so they're looking to create a kind of generic job title for what I do, and then a pay associated with that. So I'm not sure if it's going to be reflected in November. I certainly hope it's going to. I hope they're not going to like hold me off much longer. But for the time being, based off of my current pay and the hours that I'm projected to work, this is kind of what we're looking at for the month of November. And so if you are new to zero-based budgeting, welcome. Hello, this is the best budgeting you will ever do. Pinky swear. Basically what we do is we come up, is that like a little bug? You probably can't see it on camera, but it's this teeny tiny little thing on my paper. Sorry, little guy. I was so distracted. I'm like that dog, and I don't even know what Disney movie that is. Up, where it's like squirrel. Anyway, so with zero-based budgeting, in case you've never done it before, you've never heard of it, you're new to my channel, you're new to budgeting, we come up with a plan for every single penny that we bring into our house, whether we are going to use it within that month or within the next 2 months or within the next year. We try to give a purpose for every dollar that we have so that we are covering expenses throughout the year and we're not being surprised by anything. So you'll see how that breaks down kind of as we go through this sheet here. First up, I always start with bills and expenses. They are the highest priority. They're the things that you need to make sure that you are funding on a monthly basis so that you don't lose where you live or your car or your food. These are the high priorities. So First up in that vein is mortgage. And our mortgage is 24, oh, not the due date, silly beta, 2475.88. And then next up is our water bill, and our water bill fluctuates. And so as a result of that, we just go ahead and put 120 at it from a monthly on every single month. It will cover the months where we're high. And then we could roll over toward the months. We roll over the months that we're low to cover the months where we're high. And so this just makes it easier for us to kind of plan. Next up is life insurance. And it is $42.06. And actually, I'm going to go ahead and address this really quickly. Somebody asked me a couple weeks ago, what about your homeowner's insurance? And I was like, oh, I think that's just rolled into our car insurance. I just never talk about it. It's not. It's an escrow in our mortgage. That's what it is. So that's where our homeowner's insurance lives within our mortgage payment. Car insurance is up next. And our car insurance has been fluctuating. And so we're putting 120 at it here and there to just kind of cover the weirdness. It's supposed to be consistent, but I don't know what's going on with these companies lately. And we are going to be shopping around and finding a new one soon. So anyways, next up, my husband and son train jujitsu, and the cost for both of them is $187.38 per month. And next up is our internet expense. This one never changes, and I'm struggling to spell internet. It is $55.58. Our phone bill, let's see, it does not change, I don't think. If it does, I'm in big trouble. But I give it's $110.68 a month. Next up is electric, and like our water bill, we just put a steady amount at this one every single month to cover any kind of overage because it does fluctuate. Obviously, in the summer, we're using a ton of air conditioning. Whenever the whenever the weather starts to just calm down a little bit, I love to open windows and things, so it gives our HVAC system a little break, but then also it gives me fresh air in the house, which I love, until the couple of months in the winter that we need to turn the heat on, which is also crazy expensive. But anyways, we give our electric, we put $200 a month at it, and it covers our overages, and then it also just kind of rolls over when we need it to. Next up is groceries. This is an oft-discussed topic of conversation on my channel. We recognize that we basically spend a mortgage on groceries every single month. It just is that way. And we're actually putting an extra $50 at it this month because, Thanksgiving and inflation and all the rest of it. Not that $50 is significant, but every little bit helps. And we figured we had a little bit of wiggle room to do it this month, and so we did. Next up is gas, like gas for our car. This one I never cash pull for because I use the Upside app, and the Upside app will get you cash back on gasoline purchases. It actually, I think, works with some restaurants and things too. Like I just saw Starbucks in there recently. And I love this one. The cash back is so worth it, especially because gas prices can get crazy in the summertime. But that's why you'll never see me cash pulling for this one. If you're interested in signing up for Upside and you never have before, my referral link is below. If you use my referral link, I think you get 15 cents off per gallon of your first gas purchase with the app. So it's definitely a good one. And we use it every single time we get gas. And anyway, we're going to be budgeting $150 this month for gasoline for our car. Household and toiletries are both going to be getting $75 this month. We seem to be doing all right with our household budget, but our toiletries seems to be like a little skimped lately. So I wanted to beef this one up a little bit extra this month. This is the beauty of budgeting and zero-based budgeting is it's really flexible, actually. I mean, I know like you're only working with so much pay, but when you're dealing with sinking funds, you're just kind of coming up with arbitrary numbers until you really hone in your budget and figure out what works for you. And I feel like household and toiletries, if you've been on my channel for any significant period of time, it's one that really does change here and there because we're still kind of figuring out like the sweet number to put at it every single month where we don't feel like it's got too much, but then we also don't feel like we're not giving it enough. So we're still figuring that out. So household we feel good with. Toiletries we decided needed a little bump, and we're just going to kind of roll with it like that. Subscriptions is up next, and I finally rolled Amazon Prime into this one. For a while I like had Amazon Prime as a separate category on my budgeting sheet, and I was like, why am I doing this? This is just so silly. It's a subscription. So now all of our subscriptions cost us $64.75 a month. It's not just Amazon Prime, it's like Netflix, it's our Apple Music, it's HBO, because we actually like a lot of HBO shows. So it's one that we've decided to keep around. Although I am considering AMC because my husband and I really like a lot of AMC shows too. And you guys are going to have to tell me if you're like this. I am the type of person who really struggles to try new things as far as shows, TV shows, and movies are concerned. One, because I think lately Hollywood in general is putting out a lot of garbage. Like there's no new ideas. It's like, okay, so you're just going to redo all the Disney movies. You're just not going to come up with a new one. You're not going to be creative and different and artistic. And nope, you're just going to keep giving us all of the Disney movies that you've already made and just regurgitating them. So that irritates me. But also I just like, sometimes you just like what you like. Like I've mentioned on this channel before, like 1,000 times, I rewatch Gilmore Girls every fall, but I'm also a huge, huge Friends fan. And I usually rewatch that in the fall as well, because it just feels like a fall show to me. I don't know why. I also watch, I like Lord of the Rings in the fall and winter. I like Pirates of the Caribbean in the summer. Like there are just anything like American Revolutionary War. I love that in the summer too. I'm really weird. Excuse me, evidently we're just coughing on my channel now too. But yeah, so anyways, the reason why I brought that up is because my husband and I like a lot of AMC shows. We're considering doing it, but we're like, something's got to give because we don't really want to spend more than this on subscriptions every month. It feels silly, but we'll see where it goes. Pest control is up next. This one gets paid quarterly, but we created a sinking fund for it so that we're putting money at it every single month. And so it's $120 quarterly, so it gets $40 a month from us. Taxes is up next. It's going to cover the cost of the person who prepares our taxes for us. It's $30. And then our HOA is getting $20 this month. This one is due at the end of January, and it's about like $200, I think. Finance coach. I feel like I need to talk about this one every single time. It gets $5 a month. Just because it's such a unique expense, but it's basically a person that we pay to, he charges an annual fee, he watches the stock market, and he makes recommendations on a monthly basis for where to move your retirement funds. And he always makes up significantly more than what we pay him to do that. So definitely worth the expense for us personally. Union dues is up next, and this one we just paid in the month of October, and so now it's getting a normal funding. We had to beef it up because my husband remembered this fund in the middle of the summer, and we just had to pay it in October, so we had to like throw a ton of money at it over the last few months, but now it's just going to be getting $15 a month from us. And the next two are not really bills or expenses or like high priority things, but I don't have enough space for them over here, so I always throw them over here. And it's our zoo membership and our pool membership. And the zoo gets $16 a month from us, and the pool gets $32 a month, and they fund the memberships. This one's due in February. This one will be due by June 1st. So what I'm gonna do now is bring over my calculator and add up all of this stuff, and then figure out what our total is for this section, and then move on to the next one. All right, so our total for this top section here is $5,584.33. And so then, even though my husband and I are in the midst of paying down our debt aggressively, we, instead of going over to the debt category next, we go ahead and move over to our sinking funds, because what we're doing in the process of paying down our debt is just making sure actually that we are establishing really good habits that we can maintain moving forward after our debt is paid off. And if you caught our last update, we did our Q3 update. We are actually, we started the year with 4 different debts. We are now down to 2. We just paid off our car. And so we're paying off now a 401k loan that we took out a few years ago. And we are paying down a credit card that had a really, really crazy high balance. And so, this method is working for us. I know that some people really, really follow the Dave Ramsey baby steps to the T, super duper closely. We are following mostly the idea of it and just kind of tweaking it where it works for our budget. So instead of addressing our debt next, we address the sinking funds that we like to go ahead and fill throughout the year to make sure that we have money whenever these needs arise. And so first up, we're gonna go ahead and go into car expenses. This is exactly like what it sounds like. We're just making sure that we can cover the cost of oil changes and any repairs that kind of pop up on our car, especially now that we've paid the car off. We'd like to maintain it so that we don't need another car anytime soon. So we put $57 a month at this one. And this seems to work for us. The 7 covers the annual registration, and then the 50 is just kind of creating a sinking fund for any future car repair needs. Next up is home maintenance. And we are putting $50 at that this month. That's pretty typical for us. That's about what we usually do. So we're keeping it that way. Next up is medical. And we are going to spend the next decent chunk of time bulking this one up. So I'm going to go ahead and put $100 at it this month, just because we had 2 instances where we kind of depleted it over the last couple of months. And so we just kind of want to build it back up again, because having it low just does not feel good for us. So that's what we're doing. Clothes is up next, and it's getting more than usual this month. Again, we are really trying to beef this one up because my daughter ended up needing clothes, fall and winter clothes, in a way that I was not anticipating. And so we're just kind of trying to make up for that. I also do sell all of her good to great condition clothes as well, to kind of help offset the cost of needing to buy her a new wardrobe as well. I'm thinking my son's going to need a couple things too, but not as much as my daughter ended up needing. So just works out that way sometimes. Haircuts is up next. And this is my son, daughter, and husband's haircut expense. And so we put $80 a month at it. My husband gets one monthly. My daughter gets one I don't know. Like the last time I took her, the girl was like, well, just bring her back in 12 weeks. And I was like, that feels like a lot for her, but I don't know. We're still trying to sort out my daughter's hair. My son's growing his out right now, which is like a great thing for the budget. So we'll just beef this one up and then maybe slow it down a little bit if we feel like it gets like too bulked up or whatever. His is up next. This is my husband's spending money, and he gets $50 for the month. Hers is mine, and I get $175. And if you're new to my channel, this kind of encompasses my spending money, my haircut money, and any like beauty treatments that I might want for myself. It is not even, obviously. My husband and I have different numbers here, but he does jujitsu, which is pricey, and I don't really have like a hobby that costs money every month, and so it all kind of balances out, you know. Next up is Dine Out, and it's going to be getting $80 from us this month as well. We're kind of beefing this one up because we want to do some more like meaningful dine out experiences with our kids rather than just like Chick-fil-A on a Saturday or something. So we're kind of saving up for like nicer dinners out or nicer meals out. And so we're going to throw a little bit extra at this one just to kind of achieve that. Next up is work food. And this is just, you know, to pay for if my husband or I want to grab a little something while we're at work, maybe like a coffee, or for my husband, like a quick meal if he has to leave super early in the morning and doesn't want to get up super duper early to make himself breakfast, or if he has like lunch out with coworkers or something like that. This just kind of helps fund that. And so we're giving it 30. Dates is going to be getting $100 this month because since we paid off our car, we are going to be saving up for a date to treat ourselves, but we're probably not going to do it until December. My birthday is in December, and then, you know, Christmas is in December. So this will give us just like a little round, like triple celebration: Christmas, paying off debt, and my birthday. And so we want to make sure that we give it enough money so that when we do go on our date in December, we can really enjoy it. Next up is home decor. And we all know this really just funds my candle or coffee mug obsession. I'm really trying to be good with coffee mugs, but this is like the season I get roped in. I love Christmas coffee mugs. If you guys are like that, you're going to have to let me know. And so I've been seeing a lot, and I swear like the social media algorithms know me so well because I've been seeing so many of them in my like Instagram feeds and Pinterest feed. It's insane. So anyways, home decor is getting $20 this month. And next up is family fun. We're giving it $50 this month because we're also kind of trying to save up a little bit. So we're taking our kids to see the Nutcracker. I've been mentioning this the entire year. We're taking them to see the Nutcracker sort of like early mid-December. And so we want to take them out to dinner and all that kind of fun stuff too beforehand. So we're kind of beefing up dine out and family fun to kind of make sure that we can make that happen as well. So next up is house project. And it's going to be getting $300 this month. I am going to get my screen doors if it kills me. Actually, the day that I'm filming this, our gutters just went up. So I'm so excited about that because y'all know we were saving for those for a little while. So I might not get my screen doors till January, but by God, I'm going to get them. So we'll figure it out. Anyways, next up is gifts. And we're giving this one $100 this month because this one has really taken a hit lately, and we just want to make sure that we have enough to cover, you know, the holiday season, like little hostess gifts, that sort of stuff, when we, you know, are invited places for different holidays and events and things. So that's why with that, Partey is making a comeback, and I'm going to start putting 45 at it every single month instead of 35 because I really think it's going to need that extra cash to fund our birthday parties. Next up, back to school. This one predominantly funds our kids' school supplies, but then also little things that creep up throughout the school year, like school pictures or like the yearbooks or, oh my gosh, what are they called when you go a field trip, things like that. So We just want to make sure we have enough at it. Right now it's looking okay, so we're just going to be putting 20 at it for the month of November. But this one kind of fluctuates in our life. It's just, it works out that way sometimes. Next up, we're dipping into our holidays here. Valentine's gets $5 from us every single month. Easter gets $7. Halloween gets, what did I say? 12. And we think we're pretty good on funding Thanksgiving now for the month of November, but this is going to start our Thanksgiving fund. Can you guys even see? I'm just realizing. Oh no, good. Okay. I'm still in. This is going to start funding Thanksgiving for next year. So we're going to be giving it $15 a month because we feel like that's probably a pretty good number. And then because I am nothing if not a thorn in the side of those of you with OCD, to finish out our Christmas funding for the year of 2023, we are giving our Christmas fund $281, that's right, dollars for the month of November. At the beginning of the year, I just want to go over this really quickly. We set out a goal of being able to fund Christmas $3,000. And because we hadn't been cash stuffing for an entire year, we were not able to just kind of pick a number, divide it by 12, and throw money at it every single month, just the way that our budget worked out. Because if you are new to cash stuffing and cash budgeting, zero-based budgeting, all the rest of it, you kind of have to maneuver your way through your first year by just playing with numbers. And so, like, this year, Christmas got a lot of funding in our September magic month, and it got a chunk of funding in our March magic month. And then just as we've had spare cash throughout the year, we've kind of put whatever we could at it throughout the year in order to fund Christmas. And so that left us with, in order to achieve our $3,000 goal for Christmas of 2023, $281 for the month of November, because we like to be done funding Christmas by November, so that, like, I'm not worrying about funding it in December. It's already done. Now, Christmas will get money in December, but that's going to be for next Christmas. So I pinky swear next year, starting in December, actually, our Christmas funding is going to be a whole number. But this is just how it worked out this year to finish out our funding to make sure that we reached our goal of $3,000. And we will after November. So that's good stuff. So I'm going to go ahead and zoom through adding all this up together so that we know what this section is going to cost us this month. And then we will move on with the rest of the budgeting. So the total for this section is $1,727. Excuse me, my throat is like being so crazy right now. Next up actually is a newer category to our budget. My husband and I opened up like basically custodial investment accounts in our kids' names. And so for savings every month, we just give them each $25 in their little custodial accounts. And I mean, the market's not doing fantastic right now, but that's okay. This stuff will just kind of add up. This monthly investment will add up and benefit them eventually. And so now what we're going to do is go ahead. So we're going to take our original number of $9,676.90, and we're going to subtract, the $5,584.33 from our bills and expenses, and then further subtract the $1,727 from our sinking funds, and then subtract the $50. Okay, I think I'm done coughing. So after we subtracted the $50 that we put into my kids, like little investment portfolio thingy things, I don't even have the right words. This is a great budgeting channel. We are left with $2,315.57 to put at our debt this month. So actually, well, and that's not really even true. So the 401k loan that we took out from my husband, that money actually gets deducted before we ever get our take-home pay. So our take-home pay is actually not reflective of his full earnings because we pay the 401k loan gets paid back directly from his pay before we get it. So that money, because it's our 401k loan and because the interest is actually paid back to us, we are now moving on to technically the avalanche method instead of the snowball method for our debt. And we are paying off our highest interest debt. It's really our highest balance and our highest interest. And it's our Visa card. And I think on my update, actually it's almost like I have it here in my budget planner. I can tell you. Yeah, the Visa has currently, at the end of September, it had a balance. I haven't updated it for October yet. It had a balance of $16,827.46. So it is our highest balance and it's our highest interest rate. So we are just aggressively paying this guy down. And then once we do, we'll move on to throwing all of our extra cash on the 401k loan, which we'll finish out our debt payoff, but that's not projected to happen until next year. So anyways, this is it. This is a zero-based budget. This is what it looks like when you give every single cent a purpose in your budget. If you guys have any questions about how to do this, how to start, how to implement this idea, please don't hesitate to ask me down in the comments below. I want my channel to serve as a helpful tool for everybody in addition to just being a fun place to come hang out together, which is what I utilize it for. But, that's just me. I'm going to go ahead and zoom you guys out really quickly and we will finish up the video. All right. Well, that is going to do it for me for today. English is hard. If you guys, like I said before, please don't hesitate to ask me if you have any questions or anybody. If you have questions, can help you down in the comments below. It's not just me. This is my first year doing it. We're still learning as we go. But we do feel like we have a pretty good handle on it. We've been pretty consistent and kind of really just enjoying the benefits of budgeting this way. If you did enjoy today's video, please go ahead and give me a thumbs up and leave me a comment down below. Love, love, love seeing you guys there. Thank you again for 5,000 subscribers. I so appreciate you guys, all of you, every single one of you. If you haven't already subscribed to my channel, I would love it if you did. And then, I'm going to be back on Friday with a regular old weekly check-in so that we can chat even more and go over the expenses for the week and catch up and all that fun stuff. So, I'm actually going to have a fun little video for you guys on Friday of the pumpkin that's growing in my front garden. So I wanted to show you guys because I've been talking about it for the last couple of weeks too. So anyway, stay tuned for that. I hope you guys have a great rest of your day today, and I will see you guys on Friday with the weekly check-in. Bye, everyone.